thought he was wearing a mask.
Yeah, let's see. Drinks.
สวัสดีค่ะยินดีต้อนรับค่ะ
Just wondering though.
Sounds good to me. Bangkok, Thailand.
Hello and สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to the Thai-inspired virtual Valentine's Day self-care workshop presented by Amazing Thailand. We hope you're all doing well and staying safe during these trying times. And thank you all for tuning in to get your dose of self-love tips with us. My name is Tita, PR Manager with the Tourism Authority of Thailand New York office and your host today. Even though Valentine's Day is not native to Thailand, it has developed into a tradition, and Thailand is madly in love with all things Valentine's. But this special day is not just about chocolates, teddy bears, and roses. It is also the time to send love to our partners, family, friends, and most importantly, yourself. And today, Thailand is making sure we prioritize self-love first, that you give yourself the self-care that you need right now. Today, we have very special guests that are here to help guide us into alignment, expansion, and unapologetic self-love through healing the inner you and spirituality. We're honored to have with us today P'ra Ajahn Yutathammo Bhikkhu, who will guide us through a short self-love meditation. Kun Nichapa Jitkuson, founder of Enchantry Living, who will answer all your questions about self-love, and the Raksa Wellness team, who will be demonstrating the traditional Thai treatment called Ya-Pao that you can DIY at home using household products. P'ra Ajahn Yutathammo Bhikkhu is a very well-respected and recognized Canadian-born Theravada Buddhist monk ordained in 2001 under the guidance of Venerable Ajahn Thong Sirimankalo of Chiang Mai, Thailand. He has practiced intensive and daily meditation following Mahasisayadaw tradition since January 2000. He has taught intensive meditation in Thailand, here in the US and Canada since 2003, and gives online teaching via YouTube, both live and pre-recorded. He has published 2 books, How to Meditate, Beginner's Guide to Peace, and Lesson in Practical Buddhism. The former has been translated into almost 20 different languages. He also gives Dharma talks in both English and Thai to both intensive meditators and by invitation to the general public. We also have with us today Kun Nichapa Jitkuson. Kun Nichapa has been sharing her wellness wisdom through mindful yoga and natural therapy for stress reduction and self-love at the Holistic Health Complex in Thailand. She's the founder of Enchantry Living, a mindful yoga teacher and an ex-nun at Wat Sathien Thammasathan, or the Sathien Thammasathan Meditation Center located in Bangkok. Kun Nichapa also manages the meditation group online for Wat Maheyong, or the Maheyong Temple in Ayutthaya province, not far from Bangkok. So, Grab Namaskaran, P'ra Ajahn, and warm welcome, Kun Nichapa. We are so thrilled to have both of you here with us today. I'm sure the audience has so many questions for you and excited to deepen our knowledge of self-love through your wisdom today. P'ra Ajahn, it is so nice to see you again. Since our last virtual meditation, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me again. It's great to be back.
Thank you so much for joining. And we know from our last session that you speak perfect Thai, and that's quite impressive. If you don't mind me asking, how did you teach yourself and learn how to master a Thai language?
Well, it was either that or sink or swim, really. When I was in Thailand, our most venerable teacher, Ajahn Tong Sirimangalo, spoke no English at all. And so as I was listening to him give talks, I knew it was something I had to do. And so my Thai is really much based on his teaching rather than anything. I can give a talk in Thai for an hour, 2 hours on any subject, Buddhist subject, but I probably couldn't order things in the market on food or clothes or something.
Wow, Pa'ajan, that is so inspiring. I wish I could learn new language as well as you do. And of all the places in the world, why did you choose to ordain and practice Buddhism in Chiang Mai, Thailand?
I must have had some connection. Thai came easy to me. Ordaining as a monk came easy to me. I really fit right in for the time I was there. It felt very much familiar, I guess. But it was mainly what I found in Thailand. What I found is something that keeps me always remembering and feeling grateful for Thailand and for the Thai Buddhist community for giving me the meditation practice that I found there. I had no intention of staying in Thailand for as long as I did or becoming a monk there, but once I saw and practiced what was there, it changed my life. Never looked back.
That's wonderful. Thailand is certainly a good pick, and I love Chiang Mai. I cannot wait to be back in Thailand again. And ladies and gentlemen, did you know that this year Chiang Mai, Thailand, was ranked #1 most friendliest destination in the world by Condé Nast Traveler? So if you haven't already planned your next dream trip, make sure Thailand is on your bucket list this year and find out for yourself if this is true. Now, I would also like to welcome Kun Nichapa. She's here with us today, live from Thailand. Thank you so much for joining us again, Kun Nichapa. It is quite late there, is it? You're in Bangkok.
Yes, it's at night now.
I know it's so late, and I'm so grateful to have you. I grew up in Bangkok. So how's the weather there in February in Bangkok right now?
Oh, it's quite sunny and it's warm. Really welcome for you all ready for the sea, sand, and sun.
I think February is perfect for Thailand, and we're all covered in snow here in New York City. So very jealous of you right now. So it's your first time here with us. Can you tell a little bit about yourself? How did you get into teaching self-love and mindful yoga?
Yes, sure. Well, I think it's like it started like over about 17 years ago when my father got like cancer, and that was the first suffering that I got. So I kind of like finding ways to heal my heart. And then I start meditation, and then I find it at Sathian Thammasathan that it already has some yoga teaching in the course, the retreat that I went. So I'm very interested, and then I learn more about yoga and I practice, and then I train as a teacher. Yeah, and it also helps me with, calming my mind, a lot of thoughts, wanderings, and stress. So that's why I got into all these things. And lately, just about 3 years ago, I ordained at Sathian Thammasathan, and then I got a chance to take care of mindfulness care project, which we care for people who are very stressful or have some depression in their life and they want to start over their new life. So that's how I got into this healing and meditation. So if it's one word, I think it's suffering. That's all. That started me to be on this journey.
Thank you so much, Kun Nichapa, for sharing with us your background. Yes, meditation certainly heals, and I'm so glad that you find your journey to self-love through meditation and Buddhism. I'd love the opportunity to take one of your class in person next time I'm in Thailand. Can you promise you'll teach me, Ka?
Yes.
All right. Well, now we all know that 2020 was a rough year for everyone, and 2021 still kind of feels like we're still upside down. So we've been all been struggling to find peace and dealing with this whole new normal. Sometimes we worry too much about others and forget to take care of ourselves. So today we'll be taking care of ourselves by talking and sharing some self-love tips that you can use during these difficult times. And we truly hope that this would inspire and help us all find peace and feeling good again. There will be a Q&A session afterwards, so feel free to send us the questions at the Q&A box below your screen. We'll try our best to bring all of your questions up in the Q&A. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start off with a short guide meditation session to help feel us ground and bring ourselves back to center. Pra Ajahn, if you are ready, I would like to turn it over to you to help guide us through a short meditation session.
Thank you. So, mental self-care. In Buddhism, the focus, of course, is on self-care of the mind. Mental self-care is very similar to physical self-care in the sense that it requires a sort of a regimen, a practice. For physical self-care, there's exercising, there's dieting, um, care of your body, care of your physical world. In the mind, of course, the regimen that we undertake is mindfulness. This is what we recommend for people because we're talking about mental health, just as with physical self-care, it's about physical health. Mindfulness is the practice of cultivating mental health. It's the practice of healing the mind and cultivating healthy mind states, healthy habits of mind. It's a practice of helping us to see things as they are by reminding ourselves that things are what they are, reminding ourselves that the problems and the issues that we face are nothing more than experiences, reminding ourselves and bringing ourselves back down to earth about the nature of our experiences. So the idea in mindfulness is to observe our ordinary experiences and try to gain a better relationship with them by reminding ourselves moment after moment about each and everything that we experience. It is what it is. This is this. Trying to be more precise, more clear, more simple in our relationship with reality. The tool that we use, that I'm going to lead you through now, is called, called a mantra. So a mantra is a meditation tool. It's used in many different spiritual and meditative traditions to focus your mind. It's a tool that you use to apply your mind to an object and to keep it from being distracted by the outside world. And so in the practice of mindfulness, we apply a mantra to our experience in order to remind ourselves of what it is that we're experiencing. So for example, when you feel pain, you will take the pain as your object, and the mantra you would just repeat to yourself is pain, 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 as a means of cultivating this clarity of mind where you just see the pain as pain, free from any kind of baggage, any kind of suffering, stress, or upset about it. And we apply this to all parts of our lives. We try to take this up as a skill, as a regimen to cultivate this perspective on things that is clear and pure and healthy. So I'll just lead you through some basic exercises, giving an overview of the various things that you could apply this technique to in order to cultivate the clarity and the peace of mind. So if you want to start just by sitting cross-legged, and close your eyes and just watch your stomach rise and fall. Not watch with your eyes, but with your mind. And if you can't feel it with just your mind, you can put your hand on your stomach. And when the stomach rises, just say to yourself, rising. And when it falls, say to yourself, falling. Rising. Falling. Not out loud, just in your mind. As the stomach rises, just say to yourself, rise. And when the breath goes into the body, it will rise. When the breath goes out, it will fall. Just focus your attention on that experience. It's just a simple exercise to get into the practice, get into the habit of seeing things just as they are. Another thing about focusing on the stomach is it's focusing on the body. It gives you a vantage point whereby you can catch everything else that comes into your field of experience. So, for example, while you're watching the stomach rise and fall, you might experience all sorts of sensations in the body: pain, pleasure, calm. You might feel happy, you might feel sad. And so this allows us to catch those experiences when they arise before we cling to them, before we let them create reactions and upset and clinging or aversion. So when you feel pain, you just say to yourself, pain, pain. Forget about the stomach and focus on the pain. If you feel happy, say to yourself, happy, happy. And just stay with it until it goes away. If you feel calm, say calm, calm. Just a simple exercise to try and see the experience as it is. See pain as pain, see pleasure as pleasure, calm as calm. And once it's gone, just go back again to the stomach and continue on rising, falling. In this way, we get a better relationship with our feelings. Less reaction, less judgment, less partiality. More clarity and peace of mind. If you have thoughts about the past or future, good thoughts, bad thoughts, and take them as an object as well. Just say to yourself, thinking, thinking. Doesn't matter past, future, good, bad. It's all just thought. Just say to yourself, thinking, thinking. So the goal is not to stop ourselves from thinking, just like the goal isn't to stop you from feeling pain or pleasure or calm. It's the nature of the mind to think. The problem, of course, is that our thoughts torture us. If we let them lead to reactions where we get upset by them, they can cause great stress and suffering. If we see them just as thoughts, past thoughts, worries about the future, doesn't matter. If we see them just as thoughts, we've neutralized them. We've gained a perspective that's much more peaceful. And when they're gone, just go back to the stomach, rising, falling. Even your reactions, you can take them as an object as well. When you like something, dislike something, if you're sad or worried or bored or frustrated or depressed or anxious, any of the many emotions, many of which plague us, and can lead to real and true mental illness if we let them spiral out of control. By themselves, they're not actually a problem. They become a problem when we habituate them, when we cultivate them. So we try to change our behavior towards them. When we like something, we try to just see it for what it is. That's liking, not feed it, build it, obsess over it. Just see it as liking. So we just say to ourselves, liking, liking. Not even trying to chase it away. Disliking, we'll say disliking. If you feel angry, say angry or sad. Or just find a word for what it is that you're feeling. Remind yourself, that's all it is. Depressed, anxious, afraid. If you're tired, if you're restless, all states of mind can become an object of mindfulness. And when they're gone, even just temporarily, go back to the stomach and wait and see what happens next. Finally, mindfulness can be applied to anything we experience. So all of our senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and of course thinking. But when we see something in our mind, we see some image that we like or dislike. In the world outside, we see things that we might react to. We try and just experience them for what they are, take them as an object, say seeing. If you hear a sound, hearing. Sometimes sound can cause great anger, upset, fear, sadness, or attachment. So we just try to say to ourselves, hearing, hearing, to try and see it just as it is. Smelling, tasting, feeling, any of our senses, they can all be an object of mindfulness. In fact, everything in our daily life can be. This isn't just something you have to do with your eyes closed. It's something you can apply in your daily life. When you're walking down the street, you can say walking, walking. This is the practice that the Buddha encouraged. When you walk, know that it's walking. When you stand, know that it's standing. When you feel, know that it's feeling. Try and see it just as it is. And this technique, this use of the mantra, is a very useful tool to help cultivate that. So that's a basic introduction to mindfulness practice. Very quick. There's, of course, much more, but just that is enough if you practice it to really get you into a regimen of self-care if you apply it on a daily basis. So thank you for listening.
สาธุค่ะพระอาจารย์ Thank you so much พระอาจารย์ for enlightening us. I'll make sure to practice mindfulness and apply the mantra meditation tool and technique to learn how to observe and be aware of my thoughts, emotions, and see it just as it is. And I'll try to meditate more often.
Good for you.
I'd like to invite Kunichapa back to our next session. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will be opening up for a short Q&A session with Pra Ajahn and Kunichapa. So don't be shy, send us your questions at the Q&A box below, located at the bottom of your screen. We'll try our very best to bring them up for the panels to answer. So let me start off with our very first question. It's a very basic question that I think needs some clarification. So what is your definition of self-love? What is self-love in your own words? Let's start this with Pra Ajahn.
So, I mean, self-love, of course, can go two ways. Self-love can be a really bad thing. Narcissism, the obsession. So people are very much obsessed with themselves, their looks, and even their health, their youth, their beauty, everything. But of course, we're interested in the positive side of self-love, and I think that's very much in line with the Buddha's teaching. I think self-love is what allows us to care for ourselves. Self-love is the mindfulness, the awareness that engages the sense of worth and the sense of importance that taking care of yourself really deserves. So I would say for me and from a Buddhist perspective, self-love is that which inclines us to care for ourselves. Self-love is very much in line with mindfulness and wisdom. It's about respect and understanding, acknowledging that the person we are best served to help and the person who's helping will best serve the world as well is ourselves. The help we can do for others is never going to equal the help and the care and thereby the love that we can give to ourselves. So I think it certainly is something that is valuable and important. Without it, we're very much on a path of self-destruction, I think.
Thank you so much, Kaprajan. What about you, Kunichapa? What is your definition of self-love? What is self-love in your own words?
For me, I think it's about, coming back and listening to your body, your mind, and your feelings in the present moment so that you can take care of them and so that you can also be more gentle with any emotion that arise with, gentleness and loving kindness. And so if you can, cope with some part that you don't like for yourself, to accept more of yourself, and that will lead also to acceptance of others as well. So it's begin with, the ugly part in us, and then it spread. So it's kind of like having compassion to yourself and also spread out to others at a later time.
Thank you. Very good answer. I like that we get the perspective of Buddhism philosophy from Prajaan and, mindful yoga and practice self-care from Kunichapa. Giving the opportunity to heal yourself, be aware and listen to yourself is really important. And that is the definition of self-love, is understanding yourself and respecting yourself. So let's move on to our second question from the audience. The second question is, why is self-love relevant to everyone? So why is it important in our daily lives? This question is for both. Let's start with Prajaan.
So I think it's a good question because as I was kind of hinting at, that we don't often take it seriously enough. We don't often take our own care serious enough. It's relevant and it's important to talk about because it's something that is lacking. And I think especially on the mental side, we do have learning and science and regimens and trainers galore on how to take care of the body. But there's no question, and it's not even a contest, that care for the mind is always going to be of much greater importance. Care for your heart, care for your psychological well-being. Because a person who is healthy can still be devastated, commit suicide, and destroy their lives with perfect physical health and well-being. But a person whose mental health is secure can never be affected by physical suffering, even though they might be sick, even though they might be disabled. If the mental health is secure, if one's state of mind is at peace and content, then no matter what changes come in life, what life throws at you, you survive and thrive because of your state of mind. I mean, I think the pandemic and the current situation in the world sort of shows us this as we move towards a more mental and maybe even cerebral or psychological focus, where we're no longer in such physical contact with each other. We can see how important our mental health really is. I mean, this is relevant now more than ever as people are isolated and forced to confront themselves. The mind is a terrible thing to taste, as the joke goes. It can be if you're not prepared to face it.
Thank you, Prajaan. What about you, Kunichapa? Why is self-love relevant to everyone and important in our daily lives?
Well, I think because we are the one who are with ourselves most of the time, 24 hours. So if we don't love even ourselves, then it's really hard to stay with ourselves. And it's like we're not having like a happy life. So it's like very fundamental that we love ourselves. And so that we are not seeking love from outside because we already love like there's love in our heart, that is enough. And it's like we are no longer seek it from others to fulfill it for us, because we really understand ourselves and we can really take care of ourselves. And that's why we can be more stronger, and we can also like give love to others truly without expectation. So I think it's relevant, and also it can help us in staying together in a society, because when we listen to ourselves, we will have the skill to listen to others and handle others' emotion as well. So it's the same skill that it's a social skill that we should have.
Thank you so much both for your answer. Very good answer. And securing our mental health is so important, but sometimes we forget to do that. And it is such a key factor of keeping our, our mind at peace and surviving anything the world throw at us. So yes, it is relevant indeed. And now let's move on to our third question from the audience. So our third question is, how can we find a balance, and where do we start our journey to self-love? Because practicing self-care can seem like a lot of work, especially when we feel like our jobs are beating us down. The pandemic is weighing heavily on us. So how do we find balance, and where do we start, Prajat?
Well, it really doesn't take a lot. I mean, there are 24 hours in a day, and a lot of those hours are taken up by the many things we do. But if someone were to begin similar to some sort of exercise regimen, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the evening, doing a practice. There are many types of mindfulness practice, but for example, the practice that I taught you, the practice that I teach, it's the kind of thing that we've now adapted into an actual course. Now, ordinarily, a meditation course would require you to come to our center or go to a center and seclude yourself from the world. But we're now adapting that to allow people at home during their lives to take a course on an extended basis, where we meet once a week using something like Zoom, and once a day, twice a day, you practice meditation on your own, and once a week we'll report and ask you questions, and you have questions you can add. We will go through a course that way. So the point being that it isn't something that is out of reach for most people. It's something that it takes a little bit of dedication and requires you to understand it to be a regimen, something that you really should dedicate a little bit of time every day to. But where to begin is to begin now. Don't wait until you might someday have a chance to go off and gain spiritual enlightenment. Start concerning yourself with your own self-care right here and now. You can do it at home.
Thank you, Prajat. What about you, Kun Nichapa? How can we find balance, and where do you think we can start the journey to self-love?
Well, I think we can start here and now, because if now currently you listen to your body, if it's like any tension in your body and is there any pain, so you can move mindfully so that it's more soothing to your body, and also that's also affect your mind. And then you listen to your heart and see how you feel, and you can just breathe it in and accepting the feeling that you see in yourself, in your heart. And then when you breathe out, you're sending love to others who in this whole world and have the same human condition and might have this exactly same feeling as us, like in this moment. So it's not only taking care of ourselves with the breath, but then we can send love to others as well. And it might sound a bit strange and difficult in the first place, but then if we practice and having some formal practice, it can help when the situation comes and you acknowledge your feelings or your suffering that occur. So if you look for some formal practice so that there's more instruction, you can go to my Enchantree Living webpage, like on Facebook. So I do posted mindful yoga for self-care and love, about 15 minutes. So you can just start tonight. I mean, like today in your place. And then, yeah, if you have time, you can come to Thailand and join us, join Prajan. I know that you also have online meditation, right? And also at Satien Thammasathan in Grand Kachan, we also have a place for you to practice like mindful gardening, even with the nature, or like if you want some historical setting, you can go to Wat Maheyong when we have another like on-site and online meditation as well. So there's a lot of choices for you to try and choose for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I agree with you both. Starting small, dedicate your time, make time to take care of yourself first, because if you cannot love yourself, how can you love others, right? So start today. And there are so many online meditation sessions, as Kunichapa mentioned on her Enchantry Living Facebook page, as well as YouTube channel Prajan, where he teaches daily live and recorded versions. So you can start now and start today. Now, I think we have one more question left and we're running out of time. So this would be the last question. So this question is from the audience. How should we end our day? Is there a ritual, or what is the best way to end our day to, for this journey and to self-love? Let's start with Pra'atan.
The day is a very important thing. Our days go by. The Buddha remarked, the Buddha spoke in this way quite often. Our days and nights go by. What are we doing as our days and nights go by, he asked. He talked about what it means to have a good day or a good night. And he summed it up in a very simple teaching. He said, don't go back to the past. Don't worry about the future. What's in the past is gone. What's in the future hasn't come yet. Try and see clearly what happens here and now. Whatever you're confronted with here and now. It's a very simple thing. Now is always here. It's always available for us. It's always waiting for us. It's something that no matter what happens to you, you always have it. You always have access to the truth. You always have access to reality. It's right in front of you. There's nothing mysterious or esoteric or hard to find about the truth. We just have to face it. We just have to engage with it. Stop letting ourselves get distracted by things that don't even exist. Past is gone. You'll never find it again. Future, as soon as it becomes present, there's more future. We're seeking out more. When it comes here, it's no longer future. When we focus on the present, we become in touch with reality. So that's how I would say start your day, how you should end your day, how you should live your day. But if by the end of your day, you have been here and now, you have connected with reality, with the present moment, then I would say you've lived a good day, and you can say you can end your day comfortable and at peace, confident that you've done something worthwhile.
Very good. Kunichapa, what about you? Can you share with us, how do we end our day as a good night?
If you want a good night, and we have to have like good before sleep, right? So I think I suggest, practicing some gratitude, because, in our days, we might be too busy to think about it. And we might end up, worry, like Prajan said, about the past or the future. But then if we, change the mindset into like looking for things that you already acknowledge and feel gratitude with, then you can be more peaceful. And that's more like easier to come back to your breath, and then to be aware of the breath when you're lying down. You can do this gentle movement to stretch and relax, and then just feel your breath going in and out, your stomach rising and falling. That's like you'll see that you'll be calming down and feel more peaceful, and you can also like see the impermanence nature of the truth. So your love and wisdom will arise at that time before you end your day. So in case that you wake up tomorrow, then you will have a happy and peaceful day.
Thank you both for your answer. A really, really good answer, and a really, really good question too. Starting your day, living your day, ending your day, they're all important. But to ensure a good night, past is gone, like Rajan says, future hasn't come, now it's here. Be in the here and now. And let's all practice gratitude and breathing meditation before we sleep. I think that would really, really help for a good night's sleep. So deep thanks, พระอาจารย์ยุทธธรรมโม and คุณนิชภา for joining us today, answering all of our very challenging questions and good questions indeed, sharing with us your wisdom. And if any of us have any follow-up questions, you may reach both of them at the contacts shown here on the screen. As for พระอาจารย์, that will be his YouTube channel, where he practiced daily live meditation and Dharma talks. As for Kunichapa, that would be her Facebook page, Enchantry Living, and she also put here her email. So yes, take a screen grab or take a photo using your phone so that you have their contacts ready. Thank you both again.
Thank you for having us.
So much.
And I look forward to welcoming you back again on our next session.
Yes, very welcome.
อนุโมทนาเจริญพร
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is not surprising that Thailand offers countless wellness destination, meditation center, monk chat programs geared for all levels. Here's the website, Thailand Insider. This is our official website for the US market, and you can learn more about all things Thailand here. And we're also happy to share with you that Thailand is now open for travelers from around the world with a new normal guideline, of course, and a mandatory 14-day quarantine to ensure everyone's safety. There will be a certified state quarantine hotel called an ASQ Hotels located in Bangkok that you can book and stay in quarantine safely. To visit Thailand, you can also now apply for a visa exemption and stay in Thailand for up to 45 days. If you wish to stay longer, as I would do, you may apply for a TR tourist visa and stay in Thailand to up to 60 days. And we also have a special tourist visa called the STV visa for those who want to stay up to 90 days. All these information are available on our website, thailandinsider.com. And I also wanted to let you know that at the end of our session, we'll be sending you a recorded version. So don't worry. You can rewatch and share this with your friends and loved ones. We'll also attach a short survey via email, as we'd love to hear from you. And as a thank you, we'll be sending our new amazing Thailand mask, as seen here, my colleague Apple wearing. These masks will keep you safe and stylish throughout 2021. So be sure to answer our survey and give us some feedback. All right, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the traditional Thai detoxifying treatment called Ya-Pao, demonstrated by the Raksa Wellness team. We're very excited about this ancient treatment. I've never done this myself, so I'm really excited to see how it's done. Without further ado, I will hand this over to the Raksa Wellness team to give us an introduction to Raksa Ya-Pao treatment benefits, teach us how to use household products to DIY this treatment at home.
สวัสดีครับ Good morning America from Raksa Wellness and Medical Retreat Thailand. We hope everyone is well and safe from the COVID-19. First of all, we would like to thank TAT New York to give us this opportunity to showcase our unique treatment Pao-Ya to everyone here. My name is Apishad Vante and I will be your narrator today. And today's treatment will be performed by Dr. Gonpatu. Pao-Ya, or Thai herbal flaming, is the ancient Thai traditional medicine that uses the heat penetrate specific herbs into the target area through heat and flame. The purpose is to add flyer tutu, which is one of the body elements in Thai traditional medicine principle, into the specific area by using the herb that create heat or yang going through the body, making the system back into normal equilibrium to prevent illness in those particular area and improve body's immune system. The common area of Pao is the stomach, where 10 major energy lines originated, which can be modified to chest, upper and lower back, or the area where the big muscle group is located. Pao is approached when the doctor found patient has less fire in the stomach or too much wind inside. So we need to use the herbs that has heat property. Let's move to what we use in Pao. The ingredients contain ply, kaffir lime, lemongrass, turmeric, fingerroot, galangal, salt, and 90% ethyl alcohol, grounded on the ingredients and mixed together. The procedure starts from massaging the area with fly oil to warm the area and release the tension for 5 to 10 minutes. Gut or digestive system is also called the second brain, as it contains same type of neurons and neurotransmitters that are found in the central nervous system. Many research found that good digestive system playing the major role in one's well-being. That's why we have many treatments, supplements, and medication to help the digestive system functioning well. As the flame will heat the herbs underneath, it takes 5 to 7 times to repeat Pao, so heat can take the medicine penetrate to the body. To make our homemade herbal compress ball, we need 200 grams of dry rice, white or brown is fine, unbleached cloth or muslin 20 times 20 centimeters, yarn or thread. Optional to create the aromatic herbal compress is 1 tablespoon turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon cinnamon, and 1/3 sliced ginger. Then we are ready. Place spices and dry rice or only dry rice in a bowl and mix well. Place the mixture into the center of your cloth, folding on the edge up and over the herbs, making a firm, round ball. Tie the top close to the mixture with yarn or threads to create a handle. Keep herbal compress ball tight so that it won't become loose when in use. Simply plop them into a microwave for 90 seconds or prepping them with steam. It's more beneficial as it softens the compresses. Release the essential oils and intensify the aroma by using a steamer about 30 to 45 minutes. Prep 2 herbal compresses for a session, then massage on over your body, paying special attention to the problem areas. Prior to application, check the temperature of herbal compress ball on the inner forearm. Once the temperature is to your liking, firmly place herbal compress ball on affected area for 15 to 30 minutes. Use your Thai herbal compress up to 4 or 5 times each before making a new one. Raksa is an integrative wellness and medical retreat located on Bang Krachao, also known as Green Lungs of Bangkok. We are an hour drive from Bangkok main airport and 40 minutes from Bangkok's downtown. Raksa is currently working with Vitalife, an anti-aging clinic under Bamrung Rat Hospital, where medical doctors and nurses are working here. At Raksa, we offer a combination of scientific wellness service and holistic wellness, with accommodation in villa style and with healthy cuisine as part of program. For the scientific wellness, we offer blood test analysis together with cutting-edge machine and treatment to enhance wellness lifestyle. On the other side, we offer holistic wellness. Raksa Holistic Wellness are Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, energy healing, and traditional Thai medicine, in which Paoya treatment falls under this category. And we also offer Raksa Kaya, or medical gym, where our guests will do physical assessment before the team will design personalized exercise plan for them. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us anytime by provided email. Thank you from Raksa Wellness and Medical Retreat, Thailand. สวัสดีครับ
Thank you so much, Raksa Wellness team, for this wonderful detoxifying treatment demonstration. The DIY Herbal Ball Compress looks really, really easy to make, and I cannot wait to try this myself. I also look forward to visiting your beautiful property in Bangkok next time in Thailand. As for the traditional Ya-Pao, which involves using heat and flame, as the Raksa team mentioned, please don't try that at home. Do the DIY version, please. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our session today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this journey to self-love. If you have any follow-up questions, you may reach us at the contacts shown here. I advise you to take a photo so that you have, all of our contacts handy on your phone. If you haven't already, follow us on Thailand Insider. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can get inspired about all things Thailand by following our social media channels. And once again, we'll be sending you a recorded version of the session and a short survey by email, as we'd love to hear your feedback as always. And as a thank you, we'll be sending a new amazing Thailand mask to keep you safe this year. On behalf of the Tourism Authority of Thailand, we wish you peace and love. We hope that this sessions bring you stillness and inspires you your journey to self-love. Remember, as Buddha says, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserves your love and affection. May you continue to be kind to yourself, your loved ones, and all those around you. Whatever you do today, begin with a smile. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Swadika, I'm Pachari Raksawong, and once again we're meeting here at Suvarnabhumi Airport. Let's suppose I'm a tourist arriving from abroad. What's the process like for entering the country, you ask? Well, today I'm going to walk you through it, all the steps based on the new normal. All foreigners traveling to Thailand must contact the Thai embassies or consulates in their country to hand in their visa application and all required documents. It is there at the diplomatic missions that you will get an overview. Upon landing at the airport in Thailand, this is the process that you'll have to go through. All travelers must have their travel and immigration documents inspected. All visitors will go through screening procedures, including getting your body temperature checked, and you'll be asked for medical information and recent travel history. If you have a body temperature of over 37.5 degrees Celsius with coughing, sneezing, shortness of breath, and/or difficulty breathing, you'll have to get a swab test to identify the virus. This nasal and throat swab is very accurate with quick results. If the test is negative, then you go straight to immigration. But if you do test positive, you'll be referred to a hospital for treatment. Authorities will be checking various documents, including the certificate of entry, health insurance, health certification declaring that you're COVID-19 free 72 hours prior to departing the country of origin, along with a fit to fly health certification. And next, authorities will be checking that your name is on the list of alternative state quarantine, which should have been confirmed prior to arriving in Thailand. Respond to the questions. Have your passport checked as usual. Remove your face mask so staff can verify your identity, and then you're off to get your baggage. Let's go and have a look at what it's like at an alternative state quarantine, or ASQ. Follow me. There are many ASQs to choose from in Bangkok and nearby provinces. Facilities located outside Bangkok are called Alternative Local State Quarantine. All properties and hotels must pass strict health criteria certified by the Ministry of Public Health. There must be a holding area cordoned off specifically for new arrivals at the hotel. The hotel must also have a partnership with a registered hospital. Visitors are quarantined for 14 days. These regulations are to ensure everyone's safety. Facilities and activities offered at an ASQ vary depending on the hotel you have selected. At this hotel, you get a yoga mat and an exercise manual inside your room. You can also request to rent a stationary bike during your quarantine period. If you want to purchase goods, you can do so via the website asq.locanation.com. There are fun DIY activities and also online exercise sessions. You'll also get to browse through some great deals being offered when it comes to hotels, attractions and airlines. Perhaps book a flight or plan your trip for when your quarantine period ends. All meals are hygienically prepared every step of the way, from kitchen to your room, and served 3 times a day, so you can be sure that throughout the 14 days you will be satisfied. You're also allocated time for a walk. Guests must make a reservation in advance to ensure the common area is not overcrowded. The medical team will be coming in to get a swab test 2 more times on the 5th and on the 12th day of your quarantine period. And after you've completed your quarantine, you're free to travel anywhere in Thailand. There will be a tracking system which you will need to keep with you throughout the duration of your visit in the country. There are many options for you to pick from when it comes to alternative state quarantine. Should you want to see the list, you can contact the Thai Embassy or Consulate to find out the details, or visit the website asq.locanation.com for all the information on ASQs and prepping for your trip here to Thailand.